What is up, Ham Radio? Kilo Echo 8, Papa Zulu November, the Ham Radio Adventure Guy. Thanks for stopping by, your one stop for everything Adventure Radio. It is Hump Day. That means it's time for the Hump Day Happy Hour. I hope, a great show tonight. We're going to be talking about ham radio for your head, so hopefully it'll be interesting, and it may just be crap, but thank you guys for showing up anyway. Let's give a shout out to all the Patreons. These guys rock. Keep me with the gasoline. Keep me with the food. That's why I got this nice fat ham radio belly, and they help me keep things going. So I appreciate each and every one of them, and hopefully they enjoy the benefits that comes with it. Also, we're going to talk about the adventure program really quick. Man, I'm going to tell you, you guys don't even know. It's an exciting time when I get to sit and watch these guys battle out for the places. I mean, of course, Dan's still sitting at the top, but between Randall and Bruce, man, these guys are just absolutely battling for that second spot, trying to get into that extra special end of the year drawing, I guess. But it's fun, and it's fun to watch them. Also, Henry Norris pulling into the top 5, and we had Harold Skinner coming from nowhere up to looks like he's in a tie with 7th place. So lots of stuff going on right there. Appreciate you guys. And let's look and see. I got a couple of shout outs for people who donated off stream. Some of these I may have thanked last week, and some of them I may not have. I'm not 100% sure. But thanks to Randall for a big donation. James Jenner, Henry Norris, James Jenner again. That was on Sunday. I know I thanked him on Sunday. Harold Skinner, and as well as Bruce right before the stream today. So thank you guys very much for donating off stream. I appreciate it very much. All right, let's bring out Hayden and seeing what's going on with him. What's going on, Hayden?
Oh, not too much. How's everybody doing tonight?
Oh, I know I'm doing pretty good. Thank you very much, Eddie, for the super chat. Eddie's like, wait, I got bumped out of the top 5. Hold my beer.
I'm just looking through the chat tonight, and it's really active tonight. There's lots of people in there I haven't seen in a while.
Good. That is awesome to hear, and they're probably just here because they probably think that this is next week, because everybody's excited for next week. Next week's going to be really awesome stream, I think. We're going to have it ain't going to be A-Track next week. It's going to be A-Trade, the Ham Radio Adventure Youths, and Blake and Ryan's taking over the stream next week. And me and Hayden going to have an easy job next week.
Yeah, I'm excited for it.
Hopefully, unless they pull us into some mischief. You never know about them two. Because I'll tell you what. I am just extremely lucky to be a Poda Elmer to those two boys. Because after I got done with my activation this evening at Chief Logan, I didn't want to spot for a late shift. I had to hurry up and get my 10 and get out. So I went over to jump on their park them because I knew that would be 3 of my 10. And I was listening to the last 4 or 5 minutes of early shift when they were working, and I'll tell you what, those boys, they're mini me. You know, I know people say,
yeah, they are.
They say, you're a fast operator, James. You're a fast operator. Well, it just does nothing but thrill me to listen to them run a pile, because I'll tell you what, like I sat there and I'm like, my goodness, I love these boys. It's just amazing how they of course I got to go through the very beginning of the late shift to get into the pile, and they worked everybody through that, and it's really awesome to hear them. So good stuff for sure. I'm very proud of those boys. They've came a super long way, and that brings us to tonight's topic. Ham radio for your mind. There's a lot I want to talk about ham radio for your mind, but we're going to start with STEM. The AARL has a nice STEM program for the use, and they're using it, to help these young kids and stuff like that work their minds and learn. And I mean, these kids, they learn so super fast. You know, here here I am struggling to learn CW because I'm an old guy. And yes, I'm still planning on doing my activation before the end of the year. Yes, I know it's December. Uh, I've got this. I've got this. Calm down. Kyle called me out the other day in Discord. Speaking of, what is this guy, Beetlejuice? I say his name and then he popped in the chat. Oh my gosh. Alpha Alpha Zero Zero. Alpha Alpha Zero Zero. Alpha Alpha Zero Zero. I think that's the
you,
first time I've ever
you
seen.
gotta you gotta say it in CW.
Yeah, I think that's the first time. Oh, wait a minute. No. It's Kyle. I forgot. Alpha Alpha Zero Zero. Alpha Alpha Zero Zero. Alpha Alpha Zero Zero. All right. That's why he popped in, because I used a whisper method. Anyway, I've got this. I've got the activation planned. It's going to happen before the end of the year. I will get the CW only activation in, and don't worry, we all know if there's not a video, it didn't happen. So there will be a video, Kyle. Oh, speaking of people who use whisper, QRP, Kilo Oscar 4, Great American Radio. He definitely don't whisper when he uses 1 watt, man. He comes in booming. That guy has been hunting a lot lately on 1 watt, and I tell you what, he's booming in there every time. So really great QRP signal. And I think I seen PP Man in the chat tonight. Just so you know, and you can take this any way you want. PP Man is the expert when it comes to PP.
Mm-hmm.
That's
what I've heard.
I'm just leaving that out there. When it comes to PPs, PP Man's the man.
Hey, let's welcome Colin in VK to the channel. This is his first time watching.
What's going on, buddy? Thank you very much for stopping by. Hopefully you'll enjoy it tonight. We're just sitting and talking a little bit of ham radio for your head. Also, I wanted to thank Terry Kilo 8 Golf Quebec. I noticed he become a YouTube channel member a little bit ago. So thank you very much, Terry. Terry's also a Patreon. So I like you. I like you guys. POTA has the double dip award, and I got a couple double dips for the Patreons and the channel members. So I like that. I like that a lot. All right. So anyway, the AARL does have a really great program. I've been to a couple of the ham fests where they're really working the STEM program with the youth and stuff like that. And just to watch these youths go and learn this stuff, it's amazing. I was talking about the CW and I got sidetracked about my activation, but the two boys, they started CW, after I did, and now they're just like killing it. Yes, double dipping is good when it's donation. Anybody who wants to double dip their donations, Ed, we'll take it, and you can triple dip, whatever you want to do. But they started after me, and like they're literally making QSOs with people 26 and 30 words a minute.
Oh,
and
wow!
I'm like, how in the world? And it's their minds. The youth's mind will pick up stuff a lot easier than we will. So these programs are really, really good to get them started in when they're young and get them, because the youth is the future of ham radio, and if we get them learning new stuff and trying new stuff when they're younger, it'll be a whole lot better. Yeah. Hey,
now
listen.
that whole STEM program, that's headed up by Steve Goodgame, isn't he?
I think so. I know he has a lot to do with it for sure.
I know before he went to the ARRL, he was a teacher, and he had a really good outreach program with youth and bringing youth into ham radio. So when he went to the league, he kind of expanded his role nationwide.
Absolutely.
I
And
know STEM is a big part of a lot of the high schools around here, and it's a great program.
and just like the Yoda camps and stuff like that, they do some like really awesome stuff, and these guys learn so much
Oh yeah,
when they go, and so it's really really awesome to see them. And speaking of old spongy minds, James, we will be talking about ham radio for my head too in this episode. So we'll get to the old spongy minds too. I don't know if the 80-meter spongy minds can get any help out of it, but I know I do. All right, been trying to get my 16-year-old so far, no luck.
Ed, I'm the same way. I have 4 kids, and none of them are interested in ham radio. That's why I'm working on my grandson. He's not 2 yet, but he loves sitting down here in the shack with the radio with me.
You know, maybe Ed, have him watch the show next week when the boys are on and talking about their adventures and stuff. And I figure they can appeal a lot more to the youth than I can for sure. So I look forward to seeing what they bring to the table because excuse me, because they'll definitely have a different perspective than I will. Okay.
Absolutely.
So anyway, these programs are great for learning. Now, when you get to us old guys, you're like, okay, so how's this help us? You know, you're talking all this stuff about the young guys and this, that, and the other, and you know, how's it helping me? Well, I'm going to tell you what, like ham radio is like a never-ending learning experience if you want to do it, because there's so much to do and learn, and you know I was always told when I was younger, if you have something and you don't use it, you lose it.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, yeah, I've had brain surgery and, you know, they may have took some of that out of there. So I don't want to lose anymore. So I try to use mine when I get the opportunity. And I'm always learning from other hams and stuff like that. I thank my Discord, not my Discord, my Patreon people all the time because you know here I teach people all the stuff about how to do this for POTA, how to do this for POTA, but we'll get in after chats and you know I'll be wanting to learn how to do something. Like for example, the very first time I learned to SSTV, I learned that in one of my Patreon after chats. We literally sit down and figured it out all in the chat, and we sit there and sent messages, and then that sparked a whole me every night at the end of my activation doing SSTV for a long time. And you know, I sit there and I learned that. So you can learn from ham radio. You don't have to study. You can learn by experience. Just like, for example, when I took all 3 of my tests, my technician, my general, and my extra, and I'm not telling you this is the right way to do it because it's not. You're not going to learn the material that you needed to learn. But one thing I'm good at is reading comprehension. So basically, I studied the questions. I only studied the right answer. I would take one word in the question, like your one stop for everything adventure radio. So I'm going to remember adventure, and the correct answer is HRAG. I'm going to remember HRAG goes with adventure, so HRAG is the correct answer, and that's how I did all 3 of my tests. And yeah, you don't learn all the stuff you're supposed to learn that way, but I'm not the type of person that wants to study and learn it. I'm the type of person who wants to do it and learn it. All the stuff that I probably should have learned while doing those tests, I've probably learned since then. And that's getting out and doing them on the radio and learning from all the different operators. I love to hang out with other operators and do different things. I'm constantly learning from other people. And it's exercising your brain, just like we should exercise our body and stuff like that. It's exercising your brain. So people doing all kinds of stuff in the chat down here. Let's see what's going on here.
It's hard to keep up with the chat tonight. Everybody's in.
I know, man. Chat's super active. The license is the portal to learn. I agree with that. It's just, well, when I went to take my technician test, it was really just to honor my dad. So I didn't care if I learned it or not. I memorized it, took the test. So then I hear this POTA activation and I want to do it. So I got to get my general. So I memorized the answer for general and took my test. Extra, I probably should have studied for extra, but it was the Wednesday night before a test session. And Tristan, the guy from Eagle One, had messaged me and was talking. He's like, yeah, I've been studying for my extra. I think I'm going to take it this Saturday. And who am I? I'm Mr. Competition. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, well, if you're going to take your extra, I'm going to take my extra. So Wednesday night, I start memorizing answers from Wednesday night till Saturday. And I'll tell you, that one hurt my head because there were so much to memorize. Like literally, I got done with that test and turned it in, and my head was just throbbing from it. But I was definitely exercising my memory skills on that one for sure. POTA has taught you more than anything. I agree with that. Another great way to work your mind and body at the same time is to do some POTA, because you work out a lot of problem solving doing POTA that you would probably not do. You do have a lot of problem solving in your shack, but definitely is you're definitely going to have a lot more problem solving in the field. POTA is creating a generation from outstanding operators, both activators. We can put our crap. That's absolutely, Kurt. I agree with that 100%. So I was saying that, there's so much in ham radio that you can learn. Like, have you ever looked at all the digital modes? Now, I get it. Digital's not for everybody, but I'm just going to use that for an example. There's so many daggone digital modes, and I ain't even done half of them. Yeah, I've done FT8, I've done FT4, I've done SST, but I mean, we're just sitting there and talking out, and somebody said, somebody come make a hellscriber contact with me. I'm like, what? And there's just so much stuff, and you got to learn how to do all this stuff. So it's great, to sit around and learn to do this stuff. It's just a great tool. Another thing, it's good for your mind. And I'm going to use me for an example right here. I don't know if all of you know, but a lot of you do know I am deaf in my right ear. So I don't hear very good. And if you've ever heard my pile-ups, you'd probably think I'm lying to you. Oh, no, this guy here is great. This guy here is great. But I don't know if it's my brain or my superhuman powers or what that has just pushed me to learn tones so well. But like, I'm constantly learning. I learn hunters' tones before I can memorize their call sign and their name and all that stuff. Like, I literally know tones, and if I hear that tone, I associate that tone with a call sign, a name, and more than likely a place. Now, no, I do not do that with every single hunter. This has to be people who hunt me over and over and over. But I'm going to tell you, I know you're gonna think I'm really weird when I say this, but I've literally went down the road before driving to work, and it's about a 50-minute drive, and I can literally say almost 170 names now. I can say their call sign, their name, and where they live. And if you think that's not working your brain on a daily basis, you're incorrect, because that's just crazy. I can't remember what I did last Tuesday. Well, yeah, I activated a park. That's beside the point. I can't remember what I did besides activating a park last Tuesday, but I can remember 170 some people's call sign, name, and where they're from. And not only can I remember that, I can, when I say their call sign, I can hear their voice in my head. Like it's just crazy how good radio can be for your mind and how you work it. Hayden, we got any questions so far?
I haven't seen any questions in the chat yet, but if anybody has any questions, now's the time to ask them.
Fair enough. They're liking listening to me talk because I haven't shut up since I've been here.
Well, see, that's the beauty, of ham radio. I started out as a QRP operator because that's all I could afford. So naturally, I went to digital and I learned all about the digital stuff. And that was before FT8 was out, or it was just coming out. But there's so many things that you can go through from, and we only scratch the surface with HF and VHF and UHF. There's guys up there on the gigahertz bands passing data and have networks up, and I wouldn't know anything about that kind of stuff. I'd have to sit down there and learn that.
Okay, so I see a question in the chat right here, and
That one.
he said he asked me if that amp bothered me tonight, and I'm going to say absolutely that amp bothered me tonight. I tried to be as nice as I could, and I kept telling the guy, "Oh, thank you very much, Evan, for the super chat. Oh, Merry Christmas, thank you very much." Matter of fact, Evan, I hope you're coming over to the Patreon chat tonight. I got to tell you about something. But
we're getting all kinds of questions now.
Yes, that amp did bother me tonight because it literally was just blowing out everybody, and you could not hear the call sign because I don't use an amp. Okay, so my mind has not worked with an amp yet, but I could tell the guy was using an amp, and I could tell it wasn't setting up right because every time he would, when I would say QRZ, you'd hear the and you'd hear this awful noise coming from this amp, and it was powerful, but that's all you would hear is the noise. And I kept telling the guys like, you're there's a setting wrong, you're over modulating, you're doing something into your amp because I'm not going to be able to work you. And to my knowledge, I do I hear voices in my sleep. Eddie, I hear your voice in my sleep quite a bit saying, I think I'm going to super chat you when I ask questions like this in the chat. I hear that all the time, Eddie. In my sleep, I don't know, dude. I sleep like 3 hours a night, so it's pretty deep when I do sleep. I don't know what I hear and think about in my sleep. It's probably like, oh, I got to watch out. That PP man knows everything there is to know about the PP business. So I don't know. He's gonna kill me in the chat tonight.
And Terry wants to know if this is okay or not.
It is what okay? You putting it up?
Yeah, it's up.
That would be a really good question in the middle of my pile up, Terry. And I really think that. And now that I said that, Terry will definitely ask me, do I think it's okay to kiss on the first date? The first date with a person or the first date of the month, Terry? Because I'm being very specific with you because I never know what exactly is ham radio a hobby or a lifestyle, or is it or is it up to operator to chase? It's both. It is definitely both, and that leads into why ham radio is good for my head specifically. For a lot of people, it is a hobby. There's nothing wrong with going out and activating once a month because you enjoy it. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with sitting at the house, uh, doing all your chores, eating dinner, and then you going into your shack and hunting 2 or 3 parks, and then going and sitting down and watching TV. There's nothing wrong with that. If that's what you like out of ham radio, it is a hobby. For me, right now at this point in my life, it's definitely a lifestyle. When are we going to play SSTV again?
Yeah.
I don't know. I need to do a video activation, so I need to get enough people up to where I know I'm going to get at least 10. Of course, that's like a 2 hour activation, but uh, for me, it's a lifestyle right now. Again, a lot of you do know about that I've had brain surgery and stuff like that, and I used to be really big in the corporate world. Matter of fact, I used to be a plant manager, had about 300 people underneath me, and I had a lot of stress in my life. And after that, after making it through that, I decided that I was just going to have more fun in life and live life to its fullest because tomorrow's not promised. And
Absolutely.
what's wrong with TV? Okay, Eddie, because you're just super chatting, there's nothing wrong with TV. It's absolutely cool to watch TV as long as you know that when the king spot hits the spotting page, you turn that sucker off and you go hunt the king. When the king when the king hits a spotting page, that's like a royal decree. You stop what you're doing and you come hunt the king. Uh, but it's definitely a lifestyle for me because right now, and not just for me, this is for a lot of people because I get a lot of email, and this is the part where this episode is going to go a little deep. There are a lot of people who have had a lot of things go wrong in their life, and you know maybe you've lost a parent, maybe you've lost a loved one or something like that, and you don't ever recover from stuff like that. And some people deal with it and go on, and some people have a harder time. And when you do something that you really really love, and you I get a lot of emails from people that thank me for what I do, not just because they're getting Hunter QSOs or you know wallpaper awards and stuff like that. I get a lot of emails and thank yous and letters and stuff for people who thank me because of the community that they say I'm building. I don't think I'm building a community, but Andy, thank you very much. Uh, I don't know what the conversion is, but thank you. I appreciate it, Andy. But I get a lot of people who thank me for the community that I'm building. They say, and that I've really helped them through hard times. When this happened in their life, and when this happened in their life, and I understand that because you know you have to rely on something. You have to live life for yourself sometimes. Uh, yeah, yes, you gotta take care of your family. You gotta do all these other things, but you gotta make sure yourself is happy inside your head because if not, you're not going to be around to take care of your family to start with. And I know this better than anybody. Right now, I actually have a issue going on with me a little bit, and hopefully, it's getting better. I've been to the doctor several days this week. I'm actually not working at all this week. They put me off work this week, and yeah, that's gonna be an interesting video. I'm actually doing a video. I'm gonna let it out. I wasn't gonna let it out, but at the end of the year, when I finish the Bailey and Sprott challenge, I'm going to put a video out about what it takes mentally and physically to activate a park every day. Because I'm not going to let too much out of the bag, but this week out there's been times when I'm dizzy and I can't even hardly walk. So I've been going through a lot this week, and I'm feeling a lot better tonight. It's probably why I'm blabbering.
That's
But
good.
Parks on the Air and my POTA family has helped me through this week tremendously because I know that if I go to a park, I'm going to hear all these wonderful little voices that's going to be so happy to hear my voice saying CQ, and they can hear me when the 80 meter lids decide that they're going to not like me being on their channel. And it's just really great, And yeah, there's been a couple of times this week I've been a little short with some of those lids. Not with the well, no, even a couple of the hunters, because I'll tell you, I got snappy with one today, and I don't even know who it was, but I tried 4 times to hear what the park was saying, and they just kept yelling over top of them. And like, guys, listen, I'm talking to the park only. If you say anything, you won't go in the log tonight. It listen to who I'm talking to. But yeah, there was one 80-meter time that I should have ran a net, but I would just went QRT because they really were a pain in the you know what. But I should have run one of my famous nets, which is good for everybody's mind besides people in 80 meters. I don't think the 80-meter lids can. Yeah, for sure. I don't think the people in 80 meters has any help with what's going on in their head. I don't think ham radio is going to help them at all because it's more like 80-meter CB to them. So, oh, anyway, but if I have helped you in any way, please know that that makes me feel really good. I love that I help people, and just know that each and every one of you guys help me as just as much. It's a common thing, helping each other. A king can't be a king without a kingdom. You know, otherwise he's just PP man in a box in Michigan. You know. I guarantee you,
Poor Mike.
my phone is gonna ring after this live stream, and he's gonna or he'll come over to the after time and be like, "Dude, why are you picking on me so much?"
Poor Mike.
Oh,
He was in the chat. I haven't seen him in a while. Oh, there he goes.
oh, there we go. uh, anyway, Kilo Hotel. If anybody don't know what Kilo Hotel means, anytime I hunt Mike, I do not throw up my call sign. I do not say park to park. I don't say QRP. I just go over there and I start yelling, Kilo Hotel, Kilo Hotel. And when I do that, he'll hear me and he'll say, Kilo Echo 8, Papa Zulu November. And I'll say, King's in the house, Kilo Hotel, King's in the house, QRP. Wait. King's in the house, QRP, park to park. Because I always turn it down and do QRP with him. And I got this big intro, and then I give him this big signal report. And I know there's hunters who don't know me, are probably sitting there like, what in the world just happened? I'm just so confused. That's just like Dan. Sometimes when I'm doing park to park with Dan, I go QRK, QRK. Pod is good for your head when you can get on Discord and be like, guys. Yes, I've heard him say that. I've heard him say that to his people. But you got a good group of people when you get on your Discord and like, guys, I'm holding a net on 80 meters, because we all know that everybody in my Discord hates nets anyway. I'm holding a net on 80 meters. They all know it's because somebody done jammed me one too many times. And they're gonna come over there and I can run some of the most off the wall nets, and they will come in there with the greatest check-ins you've ever heard. So I wish you could play music on the radio, because I would play trumpets into the mic before I yelled Kilo Hotel. I might need somebody to start coming out with me and doing a announcement that I'm getting ready to call my call sign. That might would help too. I'm sure Mike would really like that.
I would have to second this one.
Oh no, I'm gonna leave the bagpipes to the PP man. That sounds more like something in his field, James. So we're gonna leave the bagpipes to him. Oh, anyway, Hayden, you got anything to talk about ham radio in your head? Because I know I've sat here and talked.
Oh, well, tonight I had a nice QSO with a buddy of mine, and it was his first DMR activation. And if that don't get your brain cells flying, programming a radio for DMR, I don't know what will. But it's like you said, there's so many different aspects of the hobby that you could be busy for the rest of your life.
Absolutely, like there's so many things that I literally want to sit here and learn, and we all know that I don't have time to learn any of them because between editing videos and doing POTA activations, I have like zero time. I'm already sleeping 3 hours. I'm thinking I might have to cut it down to 2 because I'm going to have to get more proficient in CW so I can get this activation in.
Well, you might have to bump it up for a week or two. Get a couple more hours of sleep in.
Oh no! We can't bump it up. Listen, we stopped the Delaware in a week because it was winter and I wasn't going to go to Delaware in the winter. We moved it to next year, but we're not stopping the CW activation because that has
Oh
nothing.
no, I wasn't saying stopping the CW activation. I was just saying get a little more sleep.
It might happen December 31st at 11:50 p.m. or something, but it's going to happen this year. Yeah.
That's fine. I will turn on my decoder on my computer and listen to it.
Yes, it's. I'm glad I put off Delaware till next year because now I will be doing it with RFing around, so that'll add to that, and we'll talk more about that the last Wednesday of the month, I believe it is the 28th. I'm pretty sure. I don't have it in front of me, but I'm pretty sure the 28th we'll be doing a goals video for 2023. RFing around will be popping in to say his goals, and we'll probably make him go first because I'll probably have a list of goals because I say I'm not going to have very many goals next year. And
well, that would be awesome.
And then I'll hear him say his, and I'll take my list and I'll throw it away, and I'll just make up a whole new list right off the bat, and
because Delaware is not too far from me. I could come over and meet you guys for a couple of those parts.
It's funny that he asked. He said he may bring his squires too. So I had a question about you and your squires. I know when you guys activate, you're in a dual cab truck. 2 of you sit in the front, 1 of you is in the back. So when you guys get to the park, one person has to get out and throw out the antenna. I want to know who the antenna boy is. Who's the antenna boy, James?
It's got to be the guy in the back.
I can't remember who I was talking to. I was talking to PP Man about this, and I said, I wonder who the antenna boy is. I'm curious. So. You activate Delaware, and I'm not using QRP.
And here's the antenna boy, X and S.
X and S is the antenna boy. Okay.
Oh, he's sitting in the back. I was right.
That's what I'll start calling him when he throws out the call sign. I'll be like, oh, antenna boy, you are a 5'9" into.
Oh, there you go. Ed says if you do Northern Delaware, he'll meet you.
Well, I'm going to do all of Delaware in a week, so I'll definitely be doing Northern Delaware as long as Southern, Eastern, and Western. So, yeah, I'll definitely be in Northern Delaware. My original plan was a week. I don't know what James is planning on doing it. He probably stepped up the game, and we're probably doing it in like 4 hours or something stupid. But, Delaware's not like the Canadian horse trail. They're not as close. So.
He's a professional antenna boy.
You guys use ham sticks on your roves? No wonder
Apparently,
no wonder you guys are hard to hear late at night.
he wants to do Delaware in
In
3
3
days.
days. Okay,
Well, that's
so
almost a weekend.
I mean, it definitely can be done. I gave myself a week, and I didn't even plan on using a week. I planned on doing 5 days and having a little extra time on the last couple of days just to shoot some video because I'm not going to be. I mean, I'll shoot some clips to throw together. You know what happened for Delaware in evidently 3 days, but I won't be shooting video because when you're doing that kind of turnaround, you just don't want to have anything slowing you down for sure. So I definitely have some epic roves coming up next year. That'll be one of them. Delaware in 3 days will definitely be one of them. I've got one. He basically described it as an epic rove. Said that it was going to make last year's rove that me and him did be a small one, and it was like 18 parks. So got some good stuff coming up next year.
I'm not sure where that one's at.
I don't know. I don't know nothing about that one. Yeah, I don't know about that one. But we can talk about anything. I'm always up for anything. I do plan on well, if things go well, and I get to do what I want to do next year. We'll be doing a whole lot more traveling next year, but we'll just see. We gotta let that set right now. For sure. Hello, Joseph Collins. Nice to see you popping in here on your non-California time because you're not California no more. You're probably still in the same time zone, but if you're not in California, you can't be late now, dude. We gave you the California slide. Just because we figured, you lived in California, you had to be, a little brain dead or something. Oh Lord. Nevada Joe. Here we go. Nevada Joe.
Nevada Joe.
That's a pretty cool name, Nevada Joe. We could make it
or Carson City Joe, because that's Old West.
Activating at least once well, here's the thing. At Hamvention, if you're going to activate with me during the 3 days of Hamvention, you better plan on being up really, really early or activating really, really late. Because those 3 days of the actual show, I have to be like Hamvention's a lot of work for me. People's like, oh, be a YouTuber. It'll be fun, they said. Yeah, not at the big shows like that. Not so much. It's a lot of fun, but it's also a lot of work, we'll just say. But I don't know how long you're staying there, Dan. I will be there a month. So early or late, don't care. Okay. All right. So yeah, I'm down for that. The early ones are a lot better because I tend to do like a typical YouTuber and get me a few adult beverages, in the late evenings. So you never know. You'll be there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Yeah, that's the 3 days of the show. Which, Sunday I might get cut out of there a little early or something. It just depends on how things are going and what I've got done. I may reroute. It depends on how I'm going to Florida. I may reroute a little bit. Be his camera boy. I may reroute a little bit and go down to Hamvention. Listen, that's why I really liked Huntsville so much, I think, because Hamvention and Dayton, I literally felt like I worked myself to death. It was 3 solid days of 8 hours of, I guess you don't get it if you're not a YouTuber, but it's work. You work because you got a lot of stuff you got to do, and everybody wants to meet you, and everybody wants to talk to you, and you got a lot of stuff you got to do. But in Huntsville, it's only 2 days for one, and it was way more laid back. There was not near the work, and it was a lot easier. So when they say Huntsville is the friendliest ham fest, it's also the most laid back. I really enjoyed it as far as the work aspect, for sure. No, I'm not a celebrity. I just play one on TV, Joseph. Not a celebrity. I just play one on. I play one on YouTube. I will tell you, Hamvention last year was the first time I'd ever been to a big show as a YouTuber. And the first couple people who walked up to me and like, "Can I take a picture with you?" I was like, do I have a warrant? And they're trying to prove I'm here and collect a reward. What's going on? What's going on tonight? Yeah. So yeah, it was a little weird, and the difference between Hamvention and Dayton was just insane. The pickup in people that knew me, but I worked really hard the month of February on YouTube, just like I will this year, because it'll be a month of YouTubing and POTA. I got a lot of people that I plan on activating with in Florida. Uh, Dan, Kyle, me and him supposed to get together down in Florida. I got an epic rove scheduled with Bill Brown, and there's quite a few things happening while I'm down in Florida. So it's going to be a good month for sure. Next year, hopefully next year is going to be a good year. I just got to whip these health issues and get them out of the way, and everything will be a whole lot better. That's for sure. Anybody else got any questions? I need to make sure. Hayden, have you seen any coffees or anything come through that we missed?
I have not.
I have not either. So hopefully we're good. And as always, we will give you a shout out if we did miss them. I'm not seeing none, so I think we're good. We're going to start wrapping it up here in a minute. Well, we got about 12 minutes. So if anybody else has any questions or anything, or wants to know anything coming up, and while we're waiting on that, I just want to tell everybody, thanks for sticking through with my rants tonight. It's not really a topic that I would normally do, but I wanted to talk about STEM because I think it's a great thing, and I wanted to talk about the community, how it's helped me, and how it's helped other people. So I really appreciate each and every one of you guys who come here every Wednesday night and smash that like button before you leave, and you guys are all family, and it's great, because all the people who come here, I don't never have a problem with in my pile up because you guys are respectful because you watch my etiquette video. Oh, I can help you with the first activation. Absolutely, Sandy. I'm thinking you're not too far from where I am. You can either come over into Patreon after chat because you are a Patreon, or shoot me a message and we'll figure something out. I love to help people with their first activations. I've helped many people with their first activations because POTA is what I do. All right, Hayden, you got anything coming up? We're gonna start wrapping this bad boy up.
Yeah, I've been kicking around the idea. I'm gonna start doing. Last year was the first year I did it, but I'm gonna do a memorial activation every year for my mentor at my home park, and I'm kicking around the idea of doing like a mid-Atlantic meetup and just having everybody that wants to come and light up the park with ham radio in honor of my mentor Bob. So that's going to be the weekend of April 30th. I'm not sure if I'm going to have it on Saturday or Sunday yet, but
Sorry,
Oh Lord.
I'm not
No,
laughing.
I just saw it.
I'm not laughing at you, Hayden. I'm laughing at the thank you very much for the super chat, Eddie,
Super chat.
and your meatloaf comment.
I like meatloaf.
You know, because
The singer and the food.
we we all know that sometimes when you're in the presence of a king, they say what they feel, and you know what they say is right. So if they think you're being something, they'll tell you, and if they think you need to be a Viking, they'll tell you what to do to be one. So meatloaf on the house at Eddie's. Oh, poor PP man. He was the brunt of that one too.
Yep.
Funny stuff. All right, so yeah, that'll be great, dude. I think that's a great idea. You know, I probably should do something like that for Dad as well.
And I've heard from the head honcho that there's going to be a certificate for all memorial activations like that.
Okay.
I've got to get him some stuff together for my specific certificate, but yeah, should be fun. And Bob's the one that got me into POTA and all of this YouTube stuff, and
Good
so
deal. Good deal.
if
It's
I can
always,
do something to remember him by, we were going to do it.
yeah, Bob was a good guy in my log many a times. So good stuff. All right, for myself, I am going to continue getting healthy. I am still activating daily. Nothing has stopped that. They did want to keep me overnight at the hospital the other night, and
Uh-oh.
I flat told them no, and that was because I knew I had to be activating the next day. But uh, you
Now
know,
that is dedication.
yeah. So again, the Bailey Sprott video, it's going to be interesting to watch, guys. I promise you, it's going to be an interesting video. But I will be activating. I did more activations than a lot of people know about today. Because one of my buddies is like, "Hey, I'm going out to Frankfort, Kentucky today. You want to ride with me?" I was like, "What are you doing?" And he told me, and I was like, "So how long are you going to be there in the place you're going to?" And he told me, and I was like, "Well, could I use your car and run out and do a couple parks?" And he's like, "As long as you get back by the time I'm done, I don't care, dude." And I thought I could get 3 in, but I got 2 of them in, and they were 2 new to me parks, but I only spotted those in my Discord. So thank you very much, James. Appreciate it very much. Got his A-Trag shirt. Absolutely. Guys, if you want a cool A-Trag shirt, head over. The link is in my description of this video. You can check out my store. And from what I hear, James, they're very lucky shirts. Eddie, Kilo Oscar 4 November Lima Lima, actually was the first order because he happened to be talking to me in the Patreon chill pad tonight. I was putting them up, and he ordered one, and he went out and did an active. When he got it, he wore it. He went out and did an activation. Said he got 100 QSOs. I'm not sure how that's good, but congratulations because you think it is, Eddie. Just playing. and he also got his big buck that he's been hunting. That thing was a monster. He sent me a picture in his A-Trag shirt, and that congratulations, Eddie, for that. That's great. So yeah, rock that lucky A-Trag shirt, James. And thanks to everybody who's ordered them so far. I know I keep an eye on it. Dan actually got his Mick Activator shirt in the mail that I sent him. Those Mick Activators will probably go away after Christmas or New Year's. I'm not going to keep those up forever because it's more of
Inside joke.
our community joke shirt. It's not really we're going to sell these forever. So those will go away. So if you want a Mick Activator shirt, you better get those while you can. But the A-Trag shirts are going to stay, and there's going to be some more shirts creeping in there as time goes on, and as my Patreons give me new ideals and stuff like that too. Guys, I know I say this all the time, but if you are a Patreon, come over and hang out with us in the Patreon after chat. And if you are the right tiers, come out and do the monthly business call, because those guys help me decide a lot of things. Also, we got a Patreon Christmas party coming up on the 19th. Next week will be the H-Ray show. I will be here, but they will be taking over the show. The last Wednesday of the month will be the goals for 2023 show. And then the only one in between will be the Christmas show. And that one, we may move it around hour wise and stuff like that. Thanks for sticking that in there, Dan. But other than that, guys, I will see the Patreons in after chat. Thank you very much for showing up tonight, everybody. And thanks for all the support tonight. 73 guys, y'all rock.
73 every